All right, my friends, let's go. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Lupa, one of our very, very favorite characters on this channel. And we're going to be talking about her because she is rerunning in 3.1 in just a few days. And should you pull? There's a lot of astrite to be spent potentially, but not so much to be had. So what are we to do? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. Thank you guys for joining me today. This is El Prazo Man going live with Wuthering Waves 3.1 coverage. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, help me build something, and please come visit me on Twitch where I do all of my live streaming. And eventually hopefully do some here on YouTube, but mostly just video content for now. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. Lupa is a fusion broadblade character, and she is primarily a sub DPS and a buffer, and she's also a character that has one of the more interesting backstories if you've played up through the Septimont quest yet. If you have not, won't give any spoilers away, but just one of the more heart-wrenching and ultimately inspiring stories in the game. One of the more well-written stories in the game, and kind of a character that didn't have the greatest revenue on release, and if you look at banner sales history, she's not anywhere near the top necessarily, but I think for a few reasons she probably got sort of a raw deal in that respect. But anyways, let's get into what this character does and what she can bring to an account. And we'll start, as always, with weapons. And for Lupa, her weapon, her signature weapon, is going to be her best in slot. Pretty much the same case with any 5-star unit in this game. It's just going to be best. Let's look at what that weapon does. It is Wildfire Mark, and we're just going to read here what it does. Gives 587 attack and a nice 48.6% crit damage. And at rank 1, and we're not going to look beyond rank 1 because I don't think anyone is refining these weapons further than that. And if you are, you're a whale and you don't really need this information. Blazing Starfire and it's going to increase attack by 12%, and performing an intro skill or Resonance Liberation is going to increase Resonance Liberation damage by 24% for 6 seconds. So that's a lot. That's a big deal because her entire kit revolves around Resonance Liberation damage. So, and then it says dealing heavy attack damage extends this effect by 4 seconds up to 1 time. Each successful extension gives another 24% fusion damage bonus to all resonate, or excuse me, not another, but a 24% fusion damage bonus to all resonators in the team for 30 seconds. And the effects of the same name cannot be stacked. And so the only thing I'll say about that, other than that it's her best weapon, is that we will look later at some of the scenarios where you can use Lupa outside of mono fusion teams. The issue with using this weapon is that last part, the second passive part of the weapon, is not going to apply to any other element type. So if you've got an Echo team with Qyuan on it, or you're doing some other stuff, there's just, you know, you're running a team with Shorekeeper or whatever the case is as your sustain, then yeah, you're not going to be completely maximizing what Lupa offers. So anyways, let's go ahead and look at what some other weapon options are going to be. And let's see here what we have on my account that we can show first. Um, so, and like I hesitate to even show these, but I will just because they are options. But like, how many of you pulled Chisa's weapon to use for Lupa? Now, in this case, actually, it is a possibility because Chisa is also running in this patch. So maybe you don't have Chisa or her weapon, but you want to get, for some reason, Lupa and get Chisa's weapon. That would be weird because you could just get Lupa's weapon, which is still going to be better than this. But anyways, let's look at what Chisa's weapon, Kumokiri, does. 500 attack, so not quite as high of an attack stat, but a nice, very nice 36% crit rate on this weapon. Also going to increase attack by 12%, and it says when the wielder casts intro skill or inflicts negative statuses, they gain 8% resonance liberation damage bonus, stacking up to 3 times for 15 seconds. At max stacks, when resonators in the team inflict negative statuses, they gain 24% all attribute damage bonus for 15 seconds. Effects of the same name cannot be stacked. So, not a whole lot. I mean, this is going to be just more of a stat stick for her. And this is going to be the case with some of the other options, too. We're going to look at, let's pull up Lustrous Razor, because this is the standard weapon, and this is going to be an option as well. I have not leveled this up all the way, but let's just pull up here what it looks like at a level 90. The base attack is going to be 587 with the substat of 36.4% attack bonus. And really, it's just going to be the ER, and then you're going to get some resonance liberation damage bonus, which is nice for Lupa. So if you don't want to spend on the weapon banner, I would say just go with the Lustrous Razor. Hopefully you have a copy of it. If not, you can go ahead and set that as your set that to select for your next 5-star standard weapon, and eventually you'll get it. The question is when. Sometimes I don't get one for for 2 patches or something, just depending on how much they give us in the way of standard pulls for rewards and that kind of stuff, because obviously you're not going to spend Astrite on the standard banner. This weapon is, again, same thing. It's going to be a stat stick. This could be an option, honestly, if you're using her on Amieth teams. So, that's interesting. Yeah, that is an interesting situation here. This could actually be a very competitive option using with Mornier, between the fact that on its own it's still a very nice stat stick, and then you're getting a nice resonance liberation damage bonus, which is what Lupa is all about. The more of that you can get, the better off you're gonna be. And we're not even going to cover the other couple options are Jinshi and Gion's weapons, and I just don't think I don't know why you would want to go there, to be honest. So we're not going to go there. So anyways, let's talk about her echoes real quick. In most cases, you're just gonna want to go with the Echo set that was made specifically for her, Flaming Claw Print. And That's going to give you the fusion damage bonus the fusion damage bonus with the 2, and the 5 piece is going to give you the Resonance Liberation, grants fusion damage bonus to all resonators in the team, and a Resonance Liberation damage bonus. So, yeah, just everything about her kit, all the way down to her best in slot weapon or weapons, and the Echo is all about buffing the entire team, mostly around fusion damage. So that's going to be key to hone in on. The what's it called? Lioness of Glory, definitely going to be the option you want to go with for main Echo, and the one of the reasons for that is that it doesn't interrupt your combos, which is really nice. It's a very smooth, quick shot Echo. It's going to deal some fusion damage, and it's also going to give you a Resonance Liberation damage bonus. So perfect for Lupa. No reason to look elsewhere. No reason to go with the Inferno Rider or any of that nonsense. Just go with the Lioness and call it a day. Her kit, there's a lot going on in this kit, but to try to sum it up, she's basically going to do a few things. You're going to use basic attack, which is called Starfall. There it is, basic attack Starfall, which is going to give you essentially you're going to build up your ability to use your resonance skill, the She-Wolf's Hunt, and you're going to mark the targets and place her Wildfire Banner, and that will then allow you to perform the Feral Fang here, which is considered a resonance skill. And all of and what's interesting about her kit is that a lot of her damage that's not even actually done by her Resonance Liberation is still considered Resonance Liberation damage bonus, which is why anything that you can equip on her, whether that's via echoes or weapons, any way that, or other resonators, if there's any way that you can buff Resonance Liberation damage, you're going to do a lot more damage and pass a lot more damage on to other resonators in the team. So, actually, you know what? We totally forgot to look at what echoes to put on, or what stats to shoot for on your echoes. So obviously, crit rate on the Lioness probably is what you're going to want to do. If you have you have her Sig, you already got the crit damage from the Sig, so you want to get the big crit rate stat there. If you used a crit rate weapon instead, then you can go with crit damage there. It's up to you. Depends what you're looking for. And then you're going to want to go fusion damage bonus with both of the 3 costs, and attack on both of the 1 cost. Pretty simple. And then you just want to isolate. You want to look for as much crit stats as you can. A little bit of ER is nice, but not necessary. I mean, I think I only had 1 ER on there, and I could try to roll a little more into it, but really you want to try to hit at least over 70% crit rate, and 240 to 250 crit damage should do the trick. Okay, back to over here. We were talking about. So we were talking about placing the She-Wolf's Hunt and marking the targets with her Wildfire Banner. Casting her resonance skill, Feral Fang, after that. And then would be the next would be a good time to use her Resonance Liberation, the Fire Kiss to Glory, and that is going to buff. That's going to do the Pack Hunt, and Glory buffs as well. So these are going to be different buffs that you're providing to her and the team. So let's read what Pack Hunt does here. Resonators with Pack Hunt gain a 6% attack increase and a 10% fusion damage bonus when they attack Overlord class or Calamity class targets. Both are non-stackable. So this is clutch for TOA and the new doubled pawns endgame content. And this is why she's so good in both of these arenas. And then it says, if there are 3 fusion resonators in the team, the fusion damage bonus against Overlord or Calamity class targets additionally increases by 10%. So you're getting 6% attack and 20% fusion damage bonus. When the active resonator casts intro skill, Pack Hunt is enhanced, granting an additional 6% attack increase to all resonators in the team, up to a maximum of 18%. If Lupa's Pack Hunt reaches its cap within its duration, she enters Wild Hunt and the intro skill Nowhere to Run becomes available. Wild Hunt can be triggered once per Pack Hunt. So basically this is kind of like Shorekeeper, right? Where what they're saying is, if you successfully perform intro skills with each character making its way back to Lupa, you're going to get an enhanced intro skill that's going to deal a fuck ton of damage and do some buffing, is basically what it is. So let's go ahead and demo the Resonator and some of her best teams. Come over here. And obviously, you know what it is, what has kind of been, the go-to premium fusion, mono fusion team since she came out. Not really any way to dispute that at this point. And it's quite a smooth and simple rotation. It's an easy team. And we'll show you how it goes. So, start with, you can so you're going to hit the skill a couple times, some basic attacks, launch the Echo, Liberation, some mid-air attacks here until you get to see that enhanced skill available. There we go, and Brant is ready. Get his intro skill, a few mid-air attacks, build up his crit rate, perform a liberation, some more, get his enhanced anchors away for the notorious nuke and gotcha, and then you're gonna get the Toon Break Changli, a few resonance skills. And then make sure you do her nuke that she gets for free after her liberation. And there we go. Her liberation is ready to go. Okay, intro to Brant. In the limelight. Each time that you hit them in midair, his crit rate increases, actually. Intro to Changli. Who's the caged bird? And if you hold attack there after her liberation, you get that extra nuke, which is really nice. Lupa's ready, and there's that enhanced intro skill. which does a ton of damage actually, especially for an intro skill. But Lupa's a very easy character to play. You kind of just follow the prompts, you know? When things light up, you press them. That's what each freaking... Instead of writing a novel in the skill tree page, just press the buttons as they light up. Skill issue players such as myself would have a much easier time if they would just write that instead of making me read all that shit. And then to try to explain it, forget about it, dude. So, that's going to be Lupa, Brant, and Changli. And there's going to be a couple other teams now upcoming that are potentially going to, that Lupa's going to be best in slot on. I mean, it's very exciting that with the release of Mornier and with Amieth now coming out, I do not think it is a coincidence that she's running alongside Mornier. So, Lupa is looking like she might be stepping back into the limelight and into the meta. So here's going to be another team, and this is basically just, you know, and you could use Changli instead of Brant there. They're both fine options. Brant is, a jack of all trades. Brant functions as sustain, sub DPS, and DPS. Changli more of a direct DPS, but you've got Mornier as the new fusion support, and now can build up the off-tune rate. And so let's see what that looks like. You're going to play Lupa and Brant the same way, basically. Mornier, we're going to start off with 3 attacks until we can, and then we'll hold a charged attack, go up in the air there into wide field observation mode, and then we're going to use her skill after a few more attacks, Echo skill and Liberation there. And then we're going to do a heavy attack there to activate that field. Okay. Already a tune break available, which is nice. Yeah, so I run his Liberation about halfway between when his gauge is about halfway full, so that I can stay up in the air and build up as much crit as possible. Okay, Mornier's ready to come in, and she's already. You don't have to do those 3 basic attacks again the second time. She's already in wide field observation mode. Okay, Brant back in.
Climax of the show.
See, his Resonance Liberation is a lot stronger with Mornier on the team. She also buffs Resonance Liberation, which in turn makes Lupa a lot more powerful too. Whoa, what happened there? Well, I fucked that up. you can see there that things look about the same. I really fucked that one up, huh? Wow. And so Lupa, when she came out, I think suffered from a problem of being very, very restrictive, and so now, at the very least, we are at a point where there are some other teams that she's, and including potentially having a place right next to the probably most hyped and almost certainly one of the most meta characters that we have seen since Cartithia. So she's looking like a pretty damn good pull. No character is quite a must pull in this game, but if I will say, if you don't have Lupa, she's a very, very, very good pull right now. She is on an upward trajectory, and what I will say is that one of the things that when I did my Yuno video, and have been talking about Yuno a lot lately because I've covered her a little bit in my Lene video and did the banner review, and I did a specific video dedicated to Yuno, is that Yuno suffered from a situation where she went like this, like she started kind of down here and then she went like this when Lene and Mornier came out back to back and looked like they both just buffed like everything in Yuno's kit, and they did. She works really well with them. Well, then Amieth's going to come out and just completely crush it. I don't really see that being quite the same case here with Lupa because of the fusion situation and the fact that Lupa is providing something that not many other resonators can provide. In fact, I don't think any of them can provide exactly what it is that she does, which is a fusion liberation support buffer. And there's just not a character that provides all of those in one package the way that Lupa does. So, I mean, look, if you pulled Mornier and Lene, you're probably using, I mean, maybe not, but you're probably using them with Amieth when you get her. But if you didn't, or if you just want to have a couple different options for teams for her, or, maybe you're going to divvy them up, or as more 3.x, off-tune resonators come out, maybe you do end up just having Amieth with Lupa and Mornier or something, and then Lene winds up on another team with Luke or some future characters or whatever. There's or whatever it is. So there are so many directions this can go. Lupa is just a really good bet to be a significant plus for your account. And so one of the last things I'll say is, if you do want to use her in teams that are not restricted to fusion, you can invest heavily in her. You'll have to spend some money, there's no question, unless you've been saving like a madman. To get to her S3, though, you will get the following, and this is a big deal here with this character. The damage multiplier of the intro skill Nowhere to Run increases by 100%. That's a big deal. Then it says the pack hunt effect of Resonance Liberation now no longer requires 3 fusion resonators. The glory effect of Resonance Liberation is now modified as casting Resonance Liberation, Fire Kiss Glory. Additionally grants glory resonators in the team ignore 15% fusion res of targets for 35%. So as you can see, I mean, even in the same sequence node, there's still more benefits if you're using fusion, as they say, well, it doesn't require fusion resonators anymore, but we're going to ignore 15% of fusion res. So obviously they're still incentivizing you to play her with fusion characters, but it's not mandatory now. And it's still not mandatory, but if you want to really, really, see her shine and get 100% of her kit out there in action, you're gonna use her with fusion characters. Encore is also a fine choice to replace Brant or Changli. By the way, that is an option. So a lot of good options for teams here. She's not as restrictive as she once was, and certainly not if you do get a little bit of vertical investment there, as I've shown, or a lot of vertical investment, I guess S3 would be. So, anyways, that's what I have for you today on Lupa, and we will get Amy and who else is coming out? Oh, Chisa. Amieth and Chisa videos shortly. But for now, that's what we got. Thank you guys so much for checking out my channel. Appreciate all the support, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Thank you.